I've known Joan for quite a long time, 20 years or so, and she's always been looking for a good orchestral record to do. And then, I didn't see her for a bit, and suddenly I get booked to do this project, and I'm amazed. The music's amazingly good, and it sounds fabulous. So she struck gold with this, I think.
Well, it's been a very interesting exercise and great fun discovering, what it was with the Schumann that the composer originally intended. And I think that the cello concerto particularly is a very interesting example of beautiful lyric writing that is allowed to come to life if you actually just do what Schumann intended. Players, have an amazing ability to rewrite composers' music. And that's happened over the years, and Joe's done a great forensic job, basically, of going back to seeing what it was. And to hear that has been extraordinary.
It was really important that Joe was able to go off to Krako, look at Schumann's original composing manuscript, and to see what the really big differences were, and to restore it to this sort of pristine condition, which may not have been Schumann's last thoughts. They were certainly Schumann's first thoughts, and therefore they deserve to be much more widely known than they are.
I'm very lucky. I've worked with this orchestra quite a lot, so we have a very easygoing relationship, and so that's made it a very easy exercise too. And nobody has questioned the fact that, you're doing a different ending to the Schumann. We explained why it was, and they just went with it.
It was very important to me that I brought something fresh, because there's so many great cellists who have recorded this piece, and it needed to be a reason to record it. After all these years of pulling any information and reading letters and analysing handwriting and looking at the manuscript, at last it's recorded, which is a great feeling in one way. In another words, I'm exhausted.
The Piatti is kind of Italian-English, a bit like Mendelssohn and Arthur Sullivan, but with more Italian tunes to it. But again, beautifully written, and finished half for the cello.
Piatti's been a fantastic discovery for all of us. He was around at the time of Arthur Sullivan, and he premiered the Sullivan Cello Concerto as the cellist. And so it's not that surprising that his orchestration is as clean as Sullivan. And also him being Italian, although he lived in England a lot, he's absolutely taken a lot from composers like Bellini. Some of it could be sung, almost bel canto. Extraordinary colours and just wonderfully melodic.
I've been thinking for some time about partnering something with Schumann, so I did some research on that, and incredibly, the Piatti second cello concerto was in the Royal Academy Orchestral Library with the original parts.
The Piatti works are a huge play because, he was a great soloist, clearly. I mean, we didn't hear him, but clearly he must have been, because these pieces are really, really difficult. And I think like all of those, especially the string player composers who wrote for themselves to play, particularly Wieniawski, people like that, they wrote nice accompaniments for the orchestra to play with the soloist, but mostly it was about them. The Piatti is not like that. The orchestra get beautiful music to play, and lovely moments of their own and lovely moments with the soloist. It's not just about, I'm playing my concerto that I've written. No, it's extremely virtuosic, and but not just for the sake of it. That's what's interesting about the piece. It's not one of those pieces where you think, it's just a lot of fast notes. It actually is all part of his very, very tight structure. And Joe has had to show enormous stamina in the Piatti works, definitely.
It's been fantastic to work with Martin. He's got such a clear understanding of how to bring these pieces together, and it's been a real joy to play and record in this beautiful hall and with a wonderful orchestra. I mean, the Royal Northern Sinfonia, they just respond, and it's been effortless.
All those cellists who are looking for new repertoire will be very upset that Jo's found it. This is really interesting. I'm surprised it hasn't been done before. So she struck gold with this, I think.